Hey, Big Salty. Kind of got a cool video today. I really didn't mention it or anything before, but the lights that I had on my tank. When I purchased this tank, I got a cheap. It was like $150. I think it was like a deep blue Solar Max or whatever. It was a dual T5 bulb, and then I started reading up on that, and I ran into it, and I upgraded to the ATI bulbs, which are great. The color that I had in the tank was fantastic. And then you start reading about LEDs. And so I purchased I think it was a Current, the USA Orbit Marine strip, along with the T5 bulbs. And again, color was great. Everything looked great. But my corals weren't really growing that great or anything, and I kept reading into it, and once again, like I've done a million times in this hobby, and I will not make this mistake, hopefully, ever again on any purchase that I ever make. Stop buying the cheap stuff. It doesn't work. It doesn't matter what you get. All you're doing is spending more money because, say you don't want to spend $600 on a light fixture, and you spend $150 on one. Well, guess what happens when you get the $150 and you decide you want corals or all that kind of things? You're gonna have to spend the $600 anyway, or whatever it is. So now you just, instead of spending $600 in the first place, you spent $750. Buy the right equipment the first time. One of the biggest pieces of advice I can give you. I understand there's budgets and things like that, but buy the best possible product you can for your budget and do your research before you buy anything. And with that being said, out of the way, the T5 unit I had, I think they were each 55 watt bulbs, so it's 110 watts. And the light strip that I had for LED was 45 watts, so together it was 150 watts. Now, I have some corals in this tank. I'll show them in a second, but most of them are the softies. I got a hammer. I just got some Green Star polyps, some Acans, Favias, and things like that. And nothing looked bad, but you see all these other lights and the color, and the growth that people get on these things, and I knew it was time. I had to get better lights. And as much as I would love to get the Kissels or Radions and things, I don't have the money for that. I mean, you're spending $700-800, per light on some of those. A $400 or $500 piece, even for the lower end ones, and so I was a little shaky before I did it, and I finally did it, and I bought the Chinese LEDs. These are the light tunnel. What are they called? Lifetime tunnels. They have the Wi-Fi mode in there. I haven't messed around with the Wi-Fi yet. These things are awesome. I'm blown away. I mean, you see the videos of them and all that kind of stuff. I'm blown away. These things are. This is on like 30. I think it's on 35%. I mean, it is bright, and the video doesn't do it justice so much as in the back corner here. If you're looking at real life, it's like real shadows. Like if you were really in a tank, the shadowing on here is amazing. And don't get me wrong, the colors that I had coming from my T5 and my LEDs, I love the colors on them. But the whole tank was covered everywhere. It didn't have the shadowing like you have with these lights. So there's the full spectrum on there. They're amazing. But with that being said, it's nice now the top of the tank's open and stuff. And, it says it comes with a hanging kit. What it really comes with is just these four, things, and the clips on there already. So a quick idea, what I did, I went to Lowe's, and I knew I was going to come up with something. I went there, and I spent a good, hour there looking at all these different things. And what I did was, if you go to the shelving sections, usually in the back of Lowe's, I bought one piece of that, the double hole strip there. It was a 6-foot piece. I'll tell you everything I bought and then how much everything cost. And I got, you can go back there and you can choose the shelving brackets and all that kind of stuff, and you can mix and match and whatever you want out there. So like I said, I got a 6-foot piece of the bracket, on the back. I got a box of those the drywall anchors, the heavy duty ones. I got 3 bolts in there. So what I think they cut, I don't remember the measurement on them, but there was 3 holes and I made them match. You know, I cut like the chain after it, so they matched on both sides, and I got a piece about the same size of that left over, in case, you know, I want to do something different with it. And I bought the brackets there. I had to use a couple of zip ties and things just to make sure. You know, I know it doesn't look great, but I wanted to make sure everything was super secure. You know, like I said, I spent $30 buying, you know, all that, and the box, you know, it was a box of 10 anchors and all that stuff. And you know, my measurements were wrong, of course. You know, I used to be a contractor, so of course they were off. I originally had this hung on the top, and these were way too high. I wanted them a foot up, which is where they're at now. And you can see I moved it down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces down. So yeah, something didn't add up, but I can move them up and down just taking that off. You know, it's sitting on there sturdy, but I can move that up and down as I want. So, you know, little do-it-yourself thing, instead of buying, you know, kits and stuff that's going to cost you $40, $50, $60. If you're somewhat handy, you know, all you got to do is, I didn't even bother with looking for studs, because I wanted, you know, the lights had to be exactly where I wanted them to be. So, like I said, you get yourself some anchor bolts, a couple of strips of that. You know, like I said, I got one piece. It was 6 foot. I don't remember how much they cost individually, but everything cost me about $30 altogether. Not a bad deal. And you know, now the top is wide open. I can clean the top. I don't have these shitty, pardon my language, shitty you know, lights sitting on top of there collecting salt creep. And it's cool, man. I mean, you can probably tell from the top a little bit where you can see more of the shadows. You know, these lights are awesome, dude. I'm really impressed. I mean, I was hesitant because, you know, they're not the top of the line, you know, the $800, all that kind of stuff. But everything I've seen on them, and some people that I trust, YouTube channels, things like that. I mean, you can go look up videos of them. The coral growth, everything looks amazing. And check this out, man. I've had these running for maybe an hour now. Let me get the camera to focus a little bit. The Zoas or Polys or whatever. I can see these things. You can see them. They're pulsing out. Like they've never done that. They're pulsing, like looking like for the light. It's crazy. They're actually like grabbing at the light, which is insane. I've never seen them move like that. They've never been as open as they are right now. They're really good. You know, they look like they grew in an hour, which is insane. So, like I said, hopefully I don't have it on too bright if I gotta lower it. But you can see the colors on. Doing a big water change tomorrow, so I can clean all that crap. But I mean, the colors on here popping, you know, way brighter than they were before. And you know, a big reason why I jumped into it. You know, I wanted to do everything the right way. But I could tell that these A-cans didn't look the way that they did when I saw them in the store. You know, this guy even started to shrivel up a little bit. And it's because I didn't have the proper lighting. You know, I would have had to have double of these. And don't get me wrong, they're great. But I would have had to have double what I had on there, which would have covered the entire tank. And would have cost... I paid less for these two models than I did for these two. And these are